Yeah, I finished that upload a few minutes ago. My fucking IDG Nazi. And I was just watching a little bit of YouTube and everything. And then bang, that Roy Ayers. I said, this is a Roy Ayers tune. Everybody loves the sunshine. Yeah, everybody loves the sunshine. The Roy Ayers. That was one of Giles Peterson, Radio 1 DJs, Kiss FM DJ and Jazz FM DJ. Big shot out. Yeah, back in 1991. I was in Dingwalls, huh? I'm gonna stop this story. Yeah, yeah. I had a connection that knew Roy Ayers. Roy Ayers was doing some gig in, I think it was 1991. Yeah, I think it was earlier. Maybe not early in that year. Or was it 1990? I think it was 1991. And he was under contract to do like a series of gigs. But the person who was organising it, I knew it. I was I'm gonna meet Roy Ayers because there was a tune that he used to play in electric ballroom in the jazz room and stuff in the early 80s, and it was called Our Time Is Coming. It was a big hit on the dance floor in the jazz room. It's kicking ass and everything. So Roy Ayers, man, I'd love to meet Roy Ayers. And he was doing the gig at the time in London. So I was speaking to Roy Ayers, and he's a real cool guy. I think I put a message on that tune on YouTube. I made a comment yesterday, and I said I met Roy Ayers. He's a real cool guy and stuff. So around that period of time, he was in London for a few days because he was on the contract, and he wasn't supposed to do it. With that contract, he was supposed to do just those gigs, and then bang, he's gone. So I speak to him and said, we could do that a certain kind of gig and everything in London because it was in a club called I was organising it with this pirate radio station called Power Jam. So my brother Danny, he knew those guys. Now when I see they talking, I have to explain to some other unknown priests that we wasn't close or anything. I mean, we hardly ever used to talk, so I can give an impression that we was close enough, but it wasn't that. He knew these pirate radio people because he used to live in these flats in Clapham on Clarence Avenue, and right on top of the roof of his flats, he used to put their radio there because the pirate radio station had to keep going, moving around because they would keep getting raided and stuff because pirate radio stations was illegal. They were like playing all kinds of reggae, and you knew this guy that was a jazz DJ because I met him when I was at my brother's flat one time. I only went there to buy a spliff. He was more a drug dealer than a brother. And then there was this guy that was buying this spliff. He said, this guy called Uncle Adam, he's a jazz DJ and stuff. And I said, yeah, cool, this and that. And it was around a period of time when I was doing the when I knew about the Roy Ayers business. And then what I did, that's how I knew Power Jam Radio, because they were based in Brixton and stuff, pirate radio station, because they were the ones who was going to front the cash. I was going to hire the club, what is it called, the Underworld Camden, which is only a few yards away from the Electric Ballroom Camden. And I was like the main one organising it, but they were the ones fronting the cash. And I said, yeah, I can get Roy Ayers there and stuff, and rah. And they said, right, cool. So I spoke to Roy Ayers, but nobody was supposed to know about it because they'd been in breach of contract. So they said, okay, keep it low and advertise it low, like word of mouth and stuff. So I got in contact with like Giles Peterson and stuff. I had your number and I called him up and I met I saw him in Dingwalls. And I was talking to him in the DJ stand. I walked in the DJ stand. At that time I had a split from him. I said, booking in there. So yeah, Giles. Before I said the word Giles was there, I tell you, I said, take my split and spoke in this split and he was there messing around with records and everything. And I said, yeah, Giles, do me a little favour, man, keep it low because I know Roy Ayers. Because that was at around them times in 1991. Everybody loved the sunshine, like Roy Ayers. He used to always play that tune as one of his favourite tunes. And he was always out of his mind on drugs, cocaine, acid, alcohol. Because at that time, when I said to him, listen, just advertise it low because no one's supposed to know about it. Roy Ayers is doing this gig, and so put it on the mic over Dingle so people can like show up there because no one's really supposed to know that. Because maybe he was like stoned out of his. I think he was a bit. He was always fucking stoned out in like coke and stuff, and he said yeah, cool. He couldn't really put it over the radio. He had to put it over the mic and Dingles. But I don't think he even got round to it. But he said to me, Jazz Peterson, you remember, if people can ask him and he'll tell you, because he didn't remember. Because I think he was a little bit jealous. And I said, because he looked at me before, he must have thought I was fucking joking over there smoking split. I said, no, I spoke to Roy Ayers and he's going to show up and he can do that gig there in the Underworld. And Jazz Terry said, yeah, okay, I'll spread the word and low and keep it low. Anyway, cut long story short, he showed up and he said, Jazz Peterson said to me, put me on the guest list, plus him plus 3. I said, no sweat. Anyway, cut long story short, he showed up there. So I remember when he first walked in the Underworld, I was downstairs at that time. I was talking to some chick near the stairs, and then I just looked up for a moment, and then I said, oh, there's Jazz Peterson, and I think he was at the top of the stairs because he had to go downstairs to go into the club. And I see him, and he was like, he went to the place where you have to pay money and stuff. And then it was only ever, he was talking to the people there, they didn't hear what he said, they could tell he asked if his name was in the guest list. And they said, yeah, and that was a few seconds, and he went downstairs. And I was thinking, where's his plus 3? I said, yeah, Jazz, cool. But I was a bit pissed off at him because he didn't advertise the shit. And I don't know if he actually believed me, and he went in there, and Roy Ayers was playing there and stuff. Because he must have been in the show, he must have thought I was taking the piss, but he showed up and stuff. And I was angry with him for this a little while, like, it was cool and stuff. He did me some tape later on with some music and everything. But luckily, there was enough people who showed up there enough to pay Roy Ayers. He had paid him a few £100 and stuff. I don't remember exactly, quite a few £100 he got paid and stuff. And I organised it and stuff because I knew the person who organised him for his little tour in London. I know he done other places in England and stuff, but he wasn't supposed to do any other. But he did for me because I chatted to him and stuff. And Jazz Peterson showed up and stuff, and he was like standing there in the show. I think he's plus 3. I think it's some girl and maybe another guy and girl shut up. I don't remember. I have to ask him. And I was really pissed off with him for a little while because I don't think he actually believed me and stuff because he wasn't thought, but he must have believed to a certain degree because he showed up and everything. And it was one of his favourite tunes, Everybody Loves the Sunshine by Roy Ayers. I remember that time, it was 1991 and stuff. And it really pissed me off at the end of that he didn't really have time. But luckily, we broke even and stuff. There wasn't really too much of a profit, but everybody got paid and stuff. But I thought, was gonna have this place capacity and it was gonna be full and stuff. But because of Jazz Peterson, it wasn't and stuff, and it really pissed me off. Everybody don't remember that shit. They don't ask him, he remember. And he showed up and stuff. He must have thought I was like taking the piss and everything. Because he must have thought I was being stoned out. And I thought I was stoned out of my mind. Because I went into DJ's then. I was going to have a quick word with him. And he was messing around with records and like that spliff. And he just turned around. And he just handed his hand out before I said the word to him. Asking me for a spliff. He just put his arm out and said, yeah, there you go. And he's there in the DJ box in Dingwalls, messing around deciding what records he's going to put on next. And a quick chat with him and stuff. And he said, yeah, he's going to get it sorted and everything. And he didn't sort it out. But it all worked out all right. Because then Power Jam around the fucking Brixton, the Power Radio, they went to fuck around with gangsters and shit. And we just about broke it even. I don't know, I tell that story a few years ago. I think I might have done. Yeah. I was just playing that tune. But the tune is a bit, the Roy Ayers tune, they made one of the Electric Ballroom was Our Time Is Coming. That's a kick-ass tune. Definitely in my top 50 top 30 of my all-time favourites in Electric Ballroom. Yeah, that's really kicking. I don't know if Jazz Peterson didn't play that because Jazz Peterson didn't get to Electric Ballroom to the later stage. I don't know if he was even playing there for about a year. It was the other DJs before him, Paul Murphy and the ones that was playing at Jackers and stuff, they were the main DJ. Giles Peterson was the main DJ. Like, people that talk online about Electric Room and the Jazz Room and stuff, they always mentioned just Giles Peterson there, but he wasn't the main DJ. Giles Peterson literally missed the party. I remember I was there the very first time when Giles Peterson walked into the Jazz Room. And some guy was just walking past. He didn't say anything. He just said, "So, you know, that guy is a millionaire and everything." I thought, nothing covered and everything, but never really heard about that. So I thought, who the hell is this guy? Because the other DJ got left. I don't know if he got kicked out. Paul Murphy was having problems. There was DJs before Paul Murphy. I forgot their names and everything. Well, I know their names and everything, but I wasn't really interested in them, the DJs and the names and stuff. I was just there to listen to music and that, and check bass. That's the only reason I was going. I was like interested in the DJ's name and stuff. So I just thought I'd just mention that. I made that people in there could go and ask Giles Peterson and see if he remembers that shit. I bet anyone he was in shock with for what? Because Giles Peterson was in them days. He was doing some promotion as well in his early stage when nobody really knew of him and stuff. And even loved that he made to book Roy Ayers because that was one of his kind of favorite tunes at the time because he was always playing Everybody Loves the Sunshine. Yeah. Just thought I'd mention it because I was watching that. I thought, let me quickly just mention that again. That people let me down that time. But we got over it and everything. And I think about a week or two that I called him and said, just to change this out. Yeah, do me a tape. Like, just let know there's no hard feelings and everything. It wasn't going to dwindle on and everything. I said, yeah, do me a tape. When you do me a tape with several tunes, but I'm going to do that upload hopefully pretty soon because there's this tune I don't know the name of it. And I haven't heard it and I've been looking for a tune. I can't find it. And I'm going to kind of sing it out so you know what it is. It'll be quite embarrassing, but later on down the line, I'll just try and find out the name of the tune. He did me a tape with several tunes. It was a real badass tune. I'm going to sing it out. So I don't know the name of the tune. There's a couple of tunes I've been looking for. I just can't find it. I forgot the name. And I do quite a lot of tunes. I used to buy some tunes because there was a time where Giles Peterson did a gig in Regent Park at the zoo. And right at the end, we were all leaving. He had his crew there, and it's 1 or 2 hours. And we was just chatting at the end of his term. We said, vinyl pretty soon it's going to be obsolete and it's going to increase in price. And I remember around that time I said, yeah man, I'm going to be buying me some extra vinyl because I wasn't buying it before. And I bought all these tunes, some of them really rare and stuff. And it got stolen off me. And I got connections. There's people who's connected to the person that stole it off me. I just wrote a letter to my brother Danny a couple of days ago. We were on the third date, I think it was the 3rd of December 2021. Today's the 5th of December. And I said, I want my fucking records that motherfucker stolen. Not the money. I've been checking out, a couple of years ago I checked out some of the prices there. And I worked at some of them tunes, and altogether that 15-box record come up to about 15 to 20 grand. And I saw my brother, that's my brother Derek in Stratton. It was about something, I think it was about, I can't remember, about 3.5, 4 years ago. He was sniffing around there. He turned around and he said, oh, remember in Amsterdam? What really because they just followed me to Amsterdam on one trip because they were, he said to me, oh, next time we go to Amsterdam, let us know. But it wasn't close or anything, and they came to one trip to Amsterdam. It's just that I wasn't there doing any gig dancing. I was just messing around. I knew a few DJs there, and I said, I'm going to bring some of my records. I had a record box with exactly 50 records, electric ballroom, jazz fusion records in that bag, which was my personal record that I bought out of my pocket. I was just messing around, doing a little bit of DJ, but not really taking it seriously. I was just in a kind of vacation, just going there to smoke with a few chicks there and having a good time. And so I met this girl there, and she had this brother who was a DJ. And I said to her, I'm going to be coming back to Amsterdam in about a few weeks. I've got a few things to do. I'm going to be reaching back. I was talking to some people who was organising the North Sea Jazz Festival thing, and it's a cut long story short. But I saw my brother Derek in Stratton. Last time I spoke to him, it was about, I think it was about 4 years ago. And he turned around and he said to me, oh, do you remember that time in Amsterdam when I carried your records? I carried your record bag. He didn't carry my record bag, because I remember I was really fucking angry with him. Because I wasn't going. They followed me out. A few of my brothers there. They followed this out. We didn't go Amsterdam because they heard that when me and Melvin was there last time. We was smoking a lot of drugs and we was at the red light with a couple of prostitutes and stuff. And they wanted some of them action. They wanted the same kind of action like that. And what I should have done, because I feel like my brother. You know what I should have done? You know what I should have done? When we got back from Amsterdam, I should have contacted his girlfriend. Because I wrote a letter to him telling her what he did in Amsterdam all them years and stuff. You know, he went for a couple of prostitutes and stuff. So I should have told them when we got back, you bastard, because like ripped me off and stole some money from me. And they know the people who've stolen my 50 records. Well, that's a certain person. So I went back to Amsterdam a couple of years after that, and I said, look, I want my records. I had a few problems and stuff and everything. When I went to Amsterdam, what years? I was 95, and I was in a bad way kind of thing at that time. But I knew Amsterdam, I knew it pretty well, and I just went there to get my records back. And the guy turned and said, no, I'm not giving you them records back. But they know this guy, and everyone, Gary, yes, he knows him and stuff. And then he knew that was my guy, and I'm just saying, you motherfuckers, they want to go talking to me and inviting me into chicken shit functions or whatever, or me to be civil towards you. I'm going to want my 50 records back. It was worth about 15, 20, the most barest minimum, because it maybe decreased in price, but £10,000. I don't know, I didn't really check the price. I saw one of these albums like £2,000 for a certain album. No, it was when I first got into music. That's when I bought it when I was about 18 years old, when I started getting into that scene. Some tunes, a DJ called Steve Walsh used to play at the cast. He used to play a couple of jazz tunes, but it wasn't usually for soul, funk, or boogie. He used to play like 1 or 2 jazz tunes. So he used to play. I bought them tunes. I see some of them tunes there online. Check it. It's unavailable now. They really can't get them. About £2,000. That's just one individual album, and this motherfucker's got. I'm not saying all of them is the same price. I've seen other prices, some of them is a couple of £100, some of them are selling it for like £80 and stuff. But the records was in pristine condition, and the motherfuckers stole my records. And I'm going to want my 50 records back. Because I remember, truth, I think I ain't got no fucking memory. Remember, he'll sniff around, because I'm suspecting he's got the guy there, know about the value of the tunes. And they maybe made some money out of that. Because, this ain't the albums that I bought. I bought a few CDs of certain tunes. Some of them albums that had LP. Oh man, where's that one? Put it somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, Roy Ayers. This ain't that one everybody loves the sunshine. This is the one that in there our time is coming. It's a kick-ass tune. Let's go. And these motherfuckers stole my vinyl. And I want my vinyl back. So I'm gonna be writing another letter to them. I'm gonna do some uploads. I'm gonna read out a couple of them letters that I sent to them. But there ain't no swear words in there. But I don't. I was write a couple of letters, a couple of swears, but there ain't no swearing letters. So what I'm gonna do is dig out the letters I just wrote, put them somewhere. This is like improvisation on top of my head, upload and stuff. I'm gonna read out the letters that I sent them and stuff. That a couple that referred to the records that I think that they maybe had something to do with stealing as well, because they know the person who's got my 50 records. And I'm going to ask them politely, but I want my 50 records, my 50 jazz albums back in the same pristine condition that the motherfucker received them in when I left it there. So go back a couple of weeks later and ask that pick them up, ran into a little bit of trouble. So it's a long story, but maybe I'll find some time to explain. Anyway, but the way he said, my brother Derek saw it, he said it was testing my memory. Because then I was there, and I said, oh, you guys do what you got to do, because I've got things to be doing there. Because I don't want to introduce them to the chicks that I knew and stuff. And they said, no. We don't, because I was going to get in cab, because when I went there, I'm not walking around Amsterdam with a big bag of records. They wanted me to show them a couple of coffee shops and everything. I said, no, I've got to get in the cab and stuff. And they were improvising, and I'm walking around the bag. I said, oh, carry this bag for me for a little while. I can take it back. And my brother Derek said, no, I ain't carrying that bag. But I understand why, because they were a little bit jealous because we was in this club before and I was getting some attention from all these chicks and they were going ballistic and angry. And I didn't even realise that shit. They were acting like really stupid and stuff. So I wrote a letter to my brother Danny about that trip. And they were carrying it because they were getting jealous and stuff. It was really fucking stupid. But we was good. That's the only kind of trip that we ever been on in all my life, like 57 odd years of life. It was just one of, but they could be telling people as though we were like close and there was lots of them kind of trips. No, it wasn't one of them kind of trips. I was gonna mention some story about when I was like 19-year-old. I think I was 19-year-old. I was working at Tesco, some Tesco supermarket shop, part-time, and I came back from work, and it's like my brother Daniel, so he's living at our parents' house at the time, and it's like he was waiting for me to come back from work. He knew at the time I was coming back from work, and he was in his bedroom with his thing, because he lived on the lower floor, and I'm walking up the stairs. I had to go up to another floor of stairs, and he walks it up to his room. He said, "Oh, Marshall, have you got 2 10s for this 20?" I thought, because seldom does he talk. We didn't really talk. We didn't really associate, you know. I thought, for a second, I thought that was a bit strange. And I thought, oh, yeah, cool. So I just got my wages and I just paid and I just get cash in hand. Bang. Like, he must have went out of his phone. I didn't even realise. I was going up the stairs. And it could have been about half an hour later. I thought, doing whatever. And then I said I was going to go to the off-lice and get some stuff. Get some cigarettes and some beer. It's about tenants and stuff. And then there's a beer called Tennis. They don't do that drink. There used to be drinks, but a beer called Don't Like it. They do that. I bought a couple of those. I went to buy them beers. So I said, no, this ain't no good. It's counterfeit. £20 counterfeit. No. I'm standing there in the shop. I'm in shock. I'm bemused. I couldn't believe it. I said, no, this can't be right. And I went back home from the off license, which was only about a minute. It was only a minute away from my parents' house where I was residing. And I got indoors, and I said, what's that? I went to my brother's room. Oh, he's gone out. Him and his friend, they've gone out. I'm standing there. I'm fucking livid. And obviously I'm shouting to myself, saying, that fucking piece of shit, cunt, and all that. And my brother Gabriel walked past. We never really used to talk. We were in the same house, but we don't really talk. He said, what's the matter? What's going on? I said, that fucking Danny bastard cunt give me this £20 counterfeit note. And at that time, I think my brother Gabriel, he was either 12, I think it was 12 or 13, 13 or 14, I don't remember. He was like 13, 14 year old. He said, that's all right, give it to me and I'll try. I didn't give my brother Gabriel the money to go he was going to go to another shop. But I told him what happened in the office. So he said, oh, we'll go to the shop down the road. There's another shop, there's package. I'll take it to the package shop and break it there. And I said, okay. But I wasn't really thinking. I didn't plan that shit. This was like a few seconds transaction. And he broke the money in there. Obviously, I think he bought something and he had half, so he maybe get back £10. I said, cool. True story. I wonder if they remember that shit. I haven't spoken to them for a long time. It just came to mind and stuff. So I'm going to be writing and asking if they actually remember that shit, because I think my memory is totally fucked or some shit. So I'm going to remind them. But I remember, yeah, it was later on that evening, my brother came out home. Or it could be the next day, because sometimes he used to stay out and stuff. I turned around and said, hey, I'm going to want my money back, because that was counterfeit money. And he only turned around and said, I know someone in Stockwell Park Estate, which is Brixton, because it's down the road from Brixton, who sells Uzis for £1,500. So basically, I don't know why he said it. Maybe he's turning around and saying, oh, I'm going to go get me a gun and I'll put it down and ask me for that money again. That's what the motherfucker like and shit. I swear it's the truth. I swear it's the truth, because these motherfuckers, they're telling lies left, right and centre, and they think I'm going to write a letter within the next couple of weeks to remind him of that motherfucker, or the next few days or next week or two, to remind him of that shit. And he still owes me money for that. I want my money back for that. And he owes me a whole heap more than that. They've stolen more money. I mean, they're just not fucking good. Anyway, we're cutting on the story short. I'm going to be writing to him very, very soon again, and I'm going to read out a couple of them letters I sent to him. I've got the receipt and proof of postage, because I posted him a letter yesterday. That was a copy of the letter that I sent on the 3rd. Because sometimes we send letters, they say they don't receive it, and that can happen sometimes. And it maybe get lost in the post or whatever. So I send them, sometimes I send just to make sure they receive the letter, receive it with I got the receipt of proof of postage. And what was this about? Yeah, this is about that what I was telling you when I was saying some of the money that he owes me, or some of the stuff that's happened in the past. But I'm gonna read out the letters, and I'll show the proof of postage to prove that I posted it to him. So that's in the next few days. But I'm talking about the letters I sent to him yesterday, which is the same copy letter that I sent on the 3rd, which is dated the 3rd of December. Anyway, that's signing off for now. I'm confused. I'm talking about some other shit. Be here all day long and shit. And I've left my heat, my cookers, and I preheat the oven, going do me some chips and everything. Pull out some chips. Okay. Adios, amigo.